Today, the lecture topic 2 of the anti-tuberculosis drug is the continuation of the previous lectures. Today we will discuss the second line of anti-tuberculosis drug, or you can say the reserve drugs. You know the difference between the first line and second line. What is the first line? First line, there is the active drug. They have a least toxic, more efficacious, while the second line drug have more toxic and least efficacy, and mainly it is used for the patient who have developed resistance with the first line therapy. So second line drug, or we call it as reserve drug. The first drug is the para-amino salicylic acid. Para-amino salicylic acid. It is structurally similar with the sulfonamide. So like sulfonamide, para-amino salicylic acid are competitively, they inhibit the folate synthetase enzyme. In this way, they prevent the formation of tetrahydrofolic acid, and this acid is necessary for the synthesis and growth and multiplication of the bacteria. So what is the mechanism action? It inhibits the folic acid synthesis, and it is a tuberculostatic, or you can say the bacteriostatic actions. Okay, it is rapidly absorbed after oral administration and distributed in the body, all over the body except CSF, cerebrospinal fluid. And what is the mechanism of actions? It is metabolized in the liver by acetylation process. But one of the disadvantage, they inhibit the acetylation of the isoniazid. In this way, they increase its level. It means it prolongs the half-life of the isoniazid when given with isoniazid. So they inhibit the acetylation. So resulting there is a increased half-life of the isoniazid. Okay, what are the side effects? The main side effect are the GIT disturbances, nausea, vomiting, and abdominal discomfort, and this can be minimized by the given the drug in divided doses. And second is the para-amino salicylic acid can produce the crystal urea, and especially the patient who have a renal failure, its level is increases. It also have a hemolytic anemia, can cause the patient who have a glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase deficiency, and the excretion of the drug is increased when the urine is alkaline. So these are the main side effects, mainly the GIT symptom and crystal urea. And second drug is the ethionamide. Second drug is the ethionamide. First is the para-amino salicylic acid, second is the ethionamide. And structurally it is similar to the isoniazid, but it is less efficacious. As compared to the isoniazid, it is a less efficacious, or you can say less efficacy. You know what is efficacy? The drug, they produce the maximum pharmacological actions. So some drug has a more efficacious, some drug has a less. So this is the less efficacious. The mechanism of action is exact is not known, but they inhibit the synthesis of mycolic acid. And it is a bacteriostatic drug. And they are effective against both extracellular and intercellular bacilli. It is well absorbed after oral administrations, distributed widely all over the body, including CSF. While the para-amino salicylic acid have not reaches in the CSF, less, while the ethionamide have a widely distributed in the body and including they enter into the CSF. And another, it is metabolized in the liver and excreted in the urine. The common side effect is the GIT disturbances, hepatotoxicity, and visual disturbances, and peripheral neuropathy. Another side effect, patient may have developed headache, blur vision, and paresthesia. So this is all about the ethionamide. What is this? It is a structural similar to the isoniazid, and mechanism is similar. They inhibit the synthesis of mycolic acid. And another drug is the cycloserine. It is an orally effective agent, and they're distributed widely after absorption. Again, there is a tuberculostatic, or you can say the bacteriostatic. They also inhibit the bacterial cell wall. After oral administration, it is metabolized in the liver, and both metabolites and the parent drug are excreted in urine. The most important side effect is the nephrotoxicity and ototoxicity, like the aminoglycoside. And it can cause the common side effect, nephrotoxicity and ototoxicity. And another, it can cause the CNS disturbances and can cause the convulsion. So should be given patient who have very cautiously, or you can say the contraindicated, because they increase the seizures. So cycloserine. Another drug is the capreomycin. It is a protein synthesis inhibitor drugs. Okay, again they develop the resistance when it is given alone. So capreomycin is used with the other anti-tuberculous drug in the treatment of tuberculosis. But the route of administration is parenteral, that is given must intramuscularly. It is used only when the other antimicrobial agent cannot be tolerated or they can produce the resistance. In that case, we use the capreomycin because the route of administration is IM. The adverse effect of the capreomycin is the ototoxicity. These are the signs and symptoms: the hearing loss, tinnitus, or you can say the collective cause, the ototoxicity and nephrotoxicity. Okay. And what it also produces the eosinophilia, leukocytosis, skin rashes, fever. In some individual, it is observed. An injection is a very painful. The route of administration is the parenterally. Another group of drug is the quinolones. So quinolone is the inhibitor. What is the class? It is inhibitor of the nucleic acid synthesis. It's the highly active against the Mycobacterium tuberculosis as well as atypical, or you can say the non-tuberculous mycobacteria. And it is the major component of the multi-drug resistant tuberculosis. It is given the patient who have a more than 2 drug resistance. So it is used in both Mycobacterium tuberculosis as well as atypical. It means you can say atypical means non-tuberculous mycobacteria. And the example is the gatifloxacin and the moxifloxacin are the most active drug that is used. And it least likely to develop the resistance. It means less resistance produced by gatifloxacin as compared to the other group of the drug. And what is the mechanism of action? They block the bacterial DNA synthesis by inhibiting the bacterial DNA gyrase enzyme. And that because this enzyme is involved in the DNA replication. So what is the mechanism of action? The quinolone blocks the bacterial DNA synthesis by inhibiting the bacterial DNA gyrase. And gyrase is an enzyme that involved in the DNA replication. So there is no replication. They are rapidly bactericidal drug. And what are the uses of the quinolones other than the tuberculosis? It is used in the UTI infection, It is used in the bacterial endocarditis, soft tissue, bone, skin infections, gonorrhea, and it is also used for the prophylaxis of the meningitis. And the side effects are nephrotoxicity and the crystalluria. And it also can damage the growing cartilage and can cause arthropathy. Therefore, it is contraindicated under the age of 18 years. And in patient with pregnant women and lactating mother, because it is secreted in the milk. And it also can cause the tendinitis, or you can say the ruptured tendon. Another drug is the rifabutin. It is a derivative of the rifampicin. The preferred drug is the rifabutin. Why? For the treatment of the tuberculosis, especially the patient who have a HIV infected patients, or protease inhibitor, because the rifabutin is a less potent enzyme inducers as compared to the rifampicin. Is a more potent. This is a less potent. It is also used for the treatment of the Mycobacterium avium complex infection in combination with the clarithromycins and the ethambutol. And another analogs of the rifampicin is the rifapentine, is a potent enzyme inducers. Now the chemotherapy of the tuberculosis. I have told you in the previous lectures that single agent of the drug of the antitubercular drugs, they produce a resistant frequently. So when the treatment of the TB is started with a one drug. So to prevent the drug resistant, or you can say that to prevent the drug tolerance, treatment must be include two drug or more than two drug, to which the bacteria are more sensitive. And the two type of the treatment, uncomplicated and complicated. Uncomplicated pulmonary tuberculosis treatment should be given for at least 6 to 9 months. While the complicated cases, the duration of treatment may be prolonged. Now the standard 6-month programs. Initially, we give the 4 drugs. That is the isoniazid, rifampin, parazinamide, and ethambutol. 4 drugs given for 2 months, and the next 4 months we give the isoniazid and rifampin. And pyridoxine is given to counter the peripheral neuropathy due to INH. So what is the standard 6-month program? First 2 months give 4 drugs, and the next 4 months give 2 drugs. And the second is the 9-month program. The first 2 months give isoniazid, rifampin, parazinamide, and the next 7 months we give the isoniazid and rifampin. And the first 2 months give 4 drugs, and the next 7 months give 2 drugs. So pyridoxine is to counter the peripheral neuropathy. And they are against the drug that give against the atypical mycobacteria, or we also called as non-tuberculous mycobacteria. And the treatment is different. Atypical mycobacteria, or we also called as non-tuberculous mycobacteria. They have non-leprosy, not produce the leprosy. Less severe than the TB, atypical. Okay, less susceptible to anti-tuberculous drug. And it is only susceptible, or you can say the effective against some antibiotics, that is macrolide, sulfonamide, and tetracycline. This is the drug used to treat the atypical, or you can say the non-tuberculous mycobacteria. They do not produce the tuberculosis. They affect the lungs. Treatment with the combination, again we give them combination of drug. Another is the Mycobacterium avium complex infection. Consists of Mycobacterium avium and Mycobacterium intracellulare. Especially they can cause the disease in the late stages of the AIDS patients, autoimmune disease. Treatment again given the drug combinations. Azithromycin, clarithromycin plus ethambutol. And ciprofloxacin, again on rifabutin. Another is the amikacin ethionamide. Just to remember the drug, what are the organism and what are the drug you given. Another is the Mycobacterium avium complex infections. We give it another regime is the macrolides, clarithromycin, azithromycin, used in the combination with other drugs. That is the adverse effect of the tinnitus, dizziness, and reversible hearing loss. Here we have finished. Now we discuss with some questions. And again, there is a short course therapy, or we call it, you have listened about DOTS. Direct observe treatment, short course therapy. It is implement nowadays the WHO guidelines is recommended thrice a weekly regime for DOT therapies in the patient, but the patient is administered drug under the supervision of health workers or other trained person to ensure that the drugs are actually consumed, and the therapy must be supervised and monitored by the bacteriological examination. So here we have, now we will discuss some questions. Regarding tuberculosis. रवि सर ये शेयर हो रही है, ये स्लाइड शेयर हो रही है?
Yes ma'am, it's important viva question.
हाँ, शुक्र. Okay, thank you. Okay, now there are some important questions regarding viva, or you can say the interactive session regarding tuberculosis. You know the name the drug used in the treatment of tuberculosis, and what is the drug of choice in tuberculosis? What are the side effects of rifampicin? You know, used in the treatment. So you say that there is a 2 line of therapy, first line and the second line. Drug of choice is the 4 drug: isoniazid, rifampin, ethambutol, paracetamol. What are the side effects of the rifampins? The most common is the yellow coloration of the urine, sweat. What are the combination? Why do we combine 2 or more drug in the treatment of tuberculosis? You know why? Because the one drug they produce the resistance, or you can say the tolerance. So to prevent the tolerance, we give in the combination drug. And the side effect of the for example, ethambutol, isoniazid, what is the most common of side effect is the optic neuritis. And what is the mode of action of the isoniazid and the rifampin? You know what is the mode of action? The synthesis is the cell wall synthesis inhibitor. Isoniazid. And what is the mechanism? They enter into the body and it is a product and convert into the active form. And they in this way they inhibit the synthesis of mycolic acid. And what is the rifampicin? Rifampicin, again the first line drug therapy. It rapidly kills both the bacteria mechanism. They bind to the bacterial DNA dependent RNA polymerase and inhibit the RNA synthesis. So these are the few examples of the question that ask the examiner in exams, interactive session. So you should know. They ask about the rifampicin, ethambutol, ask para-aminosalicylic acid, and the fluoroquinolone, ask the mechanism of action, side effect. So you should know the side effect. Okay, there's some BCQs we share. For example, should take 35-year-old formerly heroin abuser has been on methadone maintenance days for 13 months. 2 weeks ago, positive tuberculin test. So radical X-ray show the evidence of right upper infections. We started the 4-drug anti-tuberculosis therapy. Withdrawal symptom. Okay, which of the following anti-tubercular drug is likely to have caused patient acute withdrawal reactions? The answer is the rifampicin. Another question is the 42-year-old male HIV patient diagnosis active tuberculosis. Currently, he is on HIV regimes. So 2 protease inhibitors and 2 nucleotide reverse transcriptase inhibitor. So what is the most appropriate regime for the case of HIV patients, tuberculosis? Rifampicin, isoniazid, pyrazinamide, ethambutol, rifabutin. It is given in the isoniazid, pyrazinamide. This is the 4-drug, but the patient who have HIV, we give the rifabutin because it is a less enzyme inhibitor drug. Otherwise, the rifampicin is a potent enzyme inhibitor. Another drug is the 24-year-old male has returned to the clinic for 1 month. After starting the treatment, he received the isoniazid, rifampicin, pyrazinamide, ethambutol. He stated he feels fine, but now he has difficulty reading his morning newspapers and feel he may need to get glasses. Which of the following drug may be cause his decline his vision? Isoniazid have no effect on the eye. Rifampicin have no. Pyrazinamide, ethambutol. I have told you it can cause the optic neuritis or difficulty in effect on the eye. So answer is the ethambutols. Another is the which of the following anti-tuberculosis drug has no hepatotoxic effect? Ethambutol. Again, which of the following drug should be given on an empty stomach for better bioavailability? Isoniazid, rifampicin, ethambutol, or you can say the isoniazid and rifampicin. So these are the both 2 drugs, rifampicin and isoniazid. It is better to give in the empty stomach, otherwise produce decreased absorption or delayed effect. So empty stomach is given 2 drugs, isoniazid and rifampicin. Again, there is a drug not given with the pregnant woman during the initial stage, streptomycin, because it can cause the ototoxicity. Harmful effect, streptomycin. Another is a 30-year-old homosexual HIV positive have a latent tuberculosis. Treatment with isoniazid is started, but the anti-tubercular effect of this drug is most likely mediated by the inhibition of the synthesis of the following molecules. HIV positive, isoniazid. What is the mechanism? Mycolic acid. They inhibit the mycolic acid. Another is the which of the following anti-tubercular mycobacterial drug is inactivated by hepatic acetylation, and the rate of it depend on the genetic backgrounds. The answer is because the isoniazid is metabolized by acetylation process, and this is a genetic, because I have told you in the yesterday lecture, they have some patients have a slow acetylator and fast acetylator, but the genetic pharmacodynamic, the response of the drug is vary from patient to patient. The answer is the isoniazid. Another is the high level of resistance to the isoniazid involved decrease in the activity of which of the following enzyme? Catalase peroxidase, the drug is the isoniazid. Because the product And this enzyme catalase peroxidase is involved in the isonase, and a gene is that regulate or encode it, that is the CAT gene. So which of the decreases? Whenever there is a resistance, then there is a mutation again this enzyme or CAT gene. The answer is the A, catalase peroxidase. And another question, the 56-year-old reporting tingling sensation in his limb and his arm, sometimes feel heavy. He was recently diagnosed with pulmonary tuberculosis and receiving isoniazid, rifampin, paracetamol for 2 months. Which of the following drug would be most appropriate to treat the current symptoms? Folic acid, pyridoxine, cyanocobalamin, vitamin C, and folinic acid. You know the drug is isoniazid, and patient have tingling sensation. So what is the side effect of the isoniazid? Peripheral neuropathy. They also inhibit the utilization of the vitamin B6 that cause the tingling sensation of peripheral neuropathy. So we give the pyridoxine. The answer is pyridoxine. And another question is the mechanism of action of rifampin include the inhibition of which of the following enzyme? If you know the mechanism of action, you can easily click. DNA dependent RNA polymerase or arabinosyl transferase, transpeptidase, topoisomerase, and RNA dependent DNA polymerase. So what is the mechanism of action? They inhibit this enzyme, DNA dependent RNA polymerase. So answer is A. Again, another question, which of the following is the most likely mechanism of resistance of the Mycobacterium tuberculosis to rifampin? Loss of mycolic acid, altered bacterium topoisomerase. What is the mechanism of action? They inhibit the DNA dependent RNA polymerase. It means the resistance, or you can say the tolerance, can develop by the altering the bacterial RNA polymerase. The answer is C. Another question is, a 63-year-old man present to the hospital complaining of abdominal pain, stiffness in the several joints. He was diagnosed with renal tuberculosis and started with 4 anti-tuberculous drugs. 1 month lab show raised uric acid levels. So which of the following drug that can cause the patient current symptoms? Increased uric acid levels. What is the drug? Rifampicin? No. Isoniazid? No. Streptomycin, azithromycin. So the answer is parazinamide. They can cause the increase the uric acid that should not be given to the patient who have a history of gout. Another is a 7-year-old girl is admitted to the hospital with high fever and neck rigidity. Diagnosed is a meningococcal meningitis. So which of the following drug is given that can cause the meninges? Amikacin, piperacin, isoniazid, nephicillin, and rifampicin. The rifampicin can cross the blood-brain barrier, so given in meningitis. The answer is rifampicin. Another is the second 67-year-old man recently diagnosed with the pulmonary tuberculosis, started on the treatment with anti-tuberculous drug. The man has been suffered from atrial fibrillation, and patient has also presently taken warfarin on this drug. At this point, which of the following changes in the therapeutic regime of the patient would be most appropriate? Because there is a drug interaction. You know, another important point, the drug, and you should know that every drug have some drug interaction, especially the warfarin. So enzyme inducers. It means they increase the metabolism of warfarin. So in this case, what we give? We increase the dose of the, if you know the isoniazid is an enzyme inducer or inhibitors. Another question is the 45-year-old woman complain of blur vision and inability to distinguish with green object and red object. What is the drug that can cause the eye effect? So the woman recently diagnosed with cavity pulmonary tuberculosis has been receiving a 4-drug combination regime for 2 months. So which of the following drug has most likely caused these adverse effects? Isoniazid, pyrazinamide, rifampicin, ethambutol, and streptomycin. So the answer is ethambutol. Again, a question: a 37-year-old homosexual man with AIDS was recently diagnosed with pulmonary tuberculosis, and treatment with isoniazid, rifampicin, pyrazinamide, ethambutol was started. State Beck explained why ethambutol was added to the therapeutic regime: to enhance the antibacterial activity of pyrazinamide, to provide the antibacterial activity against atypical mycobacteria, or to prevent the neurotoxic effect of isoniazid, to prevent the pneumocystic kidney pneumonia. To delay the emergency of the drug resistance. That's why it is added. To delay the emergency of drug resistance, because of sometimes the drug develop resistance with isoniazid, rifampicin, to be added. So ethambutol, what is the role? They delay the emergency of the drug resistance. Another questions: a 30-year-old pregnant woman develops tuberculosis. Pregnant woman. So which of the following anti-tuberculosis drugs should not be used? It means they cross the placental barrier and have a teratogenic effect. So isoniazid have no effect, rifampicin have no effect, ethambutol is no effect, but the streptomycin can cause the ototoxicity and cross the placenta and have a teratogenic effect. Again, a question: a patient suffering from multi-drug resistant tuberculosis can be treated with all of the following drugs except amikacin, cipromycin, fluoxacin, clarithromycin, multi-drug, more than 2-3 drugs. So this is tobramycin is not given. Okay, and another question: which of the following drug has the highest potential to produce the exfoliate dermatitis? It means skin infections. Their rashes, different present with the different signs and symptoms. So which is the among the 4 drugs, which is the highest potential or highest quality to produce the exfoliate dermatitis? So isoniazid, rifampicin, pyrazinamide, and ethambutol. The exfoliate dermatitis, the more can cause the pyrazinamide. The answer is pyrazinamide. Again, the same question is repeated. Which of the following drugs should be given on empty stomach for better availability? So isoniazid, rifampicin, ethambutol, or either isoniazid as well as rifampicin. So this is the answer D. Okay, here we have finished. Another is the following stand like this. Which of the following statements are correct? Anti-tuberculosis drug have the following side effect. All the drug have effect, none, few, or many. All the drug have. Isoniazid, rifampicin, ethambutol all have a side effect. The drug is contraindicated in young children, ethambutol, because of the eye effect. And the drug is contraindicated in the pregnant woman, streptomycin, cycloserine, ethionamide, and the rifampicin. There is the streptomycins and ethionamide. Both are contraindicated in pregnant women. Another, okay, you can say. And what are the minor adverse effects regarding the antituberculous drug? Deafness, anorexia, and the GIT symptom, jaundice, or neither A, B, C, or not none. So mainly the GIT symptoms. These are the minor adverse effect of antituberculous drug. Another is the life-threatening adverse effect that is related to the antituberculous drug is the renal failure, abdominal pain, burning in the feet, exfoliate dermatitis. This is the renal failure, the life-threatening. Okay, another question is the most of the adverse effect of the antituberculous drug are manageable, irreversible, life-threatening, and incurable. So it is a manageable. And the adverse effect of the antituberculous drug can be life-threatening. Never can be life-threatening. If they are not managed properly during the first 2-3 weeks, or if it is caused by reverse drug, that is the second line therapy. So adverse effect of the antituberculous drug is life-threatening. When it's life-threatening, when it is not managed properly. If managed properly, the adverse effects are not life-threatening. Okay. Okay, now we summarize the antituberculous drug. Okay, tuberculous drug is a chronic infectious disease that involve the lower respiratory tract, and it required the prolonged treatment because the tuberculosis is a chronic infection. It consists of excessive fibrous tissue with central necrosis. So the vascularity of the lesion is poor. That's why the penetration of the drug into the lesion is decreases. Another important point, it can cause the resistance, can develop the resistance, or you can say the drug can develop the tolerance. So that's why we give in the combination of the drug. And classification, we classify into two: the first line therapy and the second line therapy. First line tuberculosis drug, we also called as standard drug. An example is the isoniazid, rifampin, ethambutol, pyrazinamide, streptomycin. Nowadays, streptomycin is not used because of the severe adverse effect. And one drug is more added, pyridoxine, to prevent the side effect of the isoniazid peripheral neuropathy. And the second line drug is the reverse drug. And the example is the para-aminosalicylic acid, cycloserine, ethionamide, kanamycin, capreomycin, amikacin, fluoroquinolone, that is the levofloxacin, moxifloxacin, ofloxacin, rifabutine, rifapentine, and clarithromycin. And what is the difference between first line and second line? The first line, they are cheap, more effective, or routinely used and least toxic. While the second is the expensive, less efficacious, and produce toxicity. So isoniazid is a first drug that is highly effective, most widely used in the as a tubercular agent orally. effective, and it has a tuberculocidal activity. It is active against the tuberculosis, and it is also used for chemoprophylaxis of the tuberculosis. And what is the mechanism of action? They inhibit the biosynthesis of the mycolic acid. Or you can say the inhibit the synthesis of mycolic acid. Mycolic acid is a necessary constituent of the cell wall. So there is no formation of the cell wall, and the bacteria can die. Pharmacokinetics of the isoniazid: rapidly absorbed from the GIT, distributed all over the body, and the body fluid like CSF. It can also cross the placental barrier. So that's why it is contraindicated in children, pregnant women. It is metabolized in the liver by acetylation process. You know, the acetylation is the phase 2 reaction, and it is under genetically controlled. And resulting there is either is a rapid acetylator and the slow acetylator. Most of the side effects occur due to the slow acetylator. In slow acetylator, enzyme is least and not completely metabolized or not excreted out. So the most of the side effect is appear due to the slow acetylator. And the adverse effect, again, most common is the hepatotoxicity and peripheral neuritis and other GIT symptoms. And drug interaction is important regarding isoniazid. So you should know what are the drugs. That is the phenytoin, carbamazepine, warfarin. They inhibit the metabolism of it. Means it has an enzyme inhibitor drug. So resulting what will happen? These drugs remain in the body and produce toxicity. Second important drug is the rifampicin. It is a derivative of the rifamycin. First line drug tuberculosis. It kills the intracellular and extracellular bacilli. And it is the only agent that acts as all type of the bacillary subpopulations. So that's why rifampicin is also called as sterilizing agent. And the mechanism of action, rifampicin bind with the bacterial DNA dependent RNA polymerase, inhibit the RNA synthesis. And it is also a bactericidal agent. And they are effective against the mycobacterium and the Neisseria meningitis, Haemophilus influenzae, Staphylococcus aureus, E. coli, and Pseudomonas. And the pharmacokinetics, it is given orally, rapidly absorbed from the GIT, but the presence of food, it delay its absorptions, and distributed widely throughout the body and metabolized in the liver. And it is mainly excreted through the feces. It is excreted in bile and also undergo in the enterohepatic circulation. And the rest or remaining drug is excreted in the urine. What are the uses? It is used to treat the tuberculosis. It is also used to treat the leprosy. And it is used for the prophylaxis of the meningococcal infection. And the adverse effect is the hepatitis and GIT symptom or flu-like symptoms. And the third one is the pyrazinamide. It is the tuberculocidal drug. Pyrazinamide also inhibits the bacterial mycolic and biosynthesis of the cell wall. It is well absorbed from the GIT and distributed widely throughout the body, including CSF. It is metabolized in the liver and excreted in the urine. And the most important adverse effect, it can cause the dose-dependent hepatotoxicity. It also impairs the excretion of the uric acid. So it can cause the hyperuricemia. So should be cautioned with the patient who have a gout. Ethambutol, again the first line therapy, first line antituberculous drug. It inhibits the enzyme arabinosyl transferase that involved in the mycobacterium cell wall synthesis. It is a bacteriostatic. It is used in the combination of other drugs. Okay, there is another important, there is no cross resistance among the antituberculous drug. It means the one drug they produce the tolerance, it doesn't mean other drug that can produce the tolerance, so can be used easily. It is well absorbed after oral administration, widely distributed in the body, metabolized in the liver, cross the blood-brain barrier in the meningitis, and excreted in urine. And the most important adverse effect is the optic neuritis, the main adverse effect that is seen with the ethambutol. It also decreases the visual acuity and color vision. There's a indiscrimination between the color vision red and green, not identify the patient. So should be known the to test the visual acuity before starting the drug and in between the drugs. Hyperuricemia is also decreased by clearance of the urine. Other side effect is the GIT symptom. And second is the streptomycin. Nowadays is not used. It is an aminoglycoside antibiotic and it is protein synthesis inhibitor. And the bactericidal drug due to the adverse effect. What are the most common adverse effect is the ototoxicity, nephrotoxicity. And the now as an important drug is the second line therapy. I have told you is less effective, expensive, and more toxic as compared to the first line. And this is only given whenever there is a emergency or reverse for the, that's why it is called as reverse drug. Para-aminosalicylic acid. Structure is similar with the sulfonamide. It inhibits the folic acid synthesis. You know the folic acid is necessary for the formation of DNA or growth and multiplication of the bacteria. It is also called as tuberculostatic drug. It is rapidly absorbed after oral administration, distributed all over the body, but it has a less penetration to blood-brain barrier. It is metabolized by the liver by the acetylation process like the isoniazid. But important point is they inhibit the acetylation of isoniazid. So in this way, they increase the half-life of the isoniazid. And it is given, what are the use in the multi-drug resistant tuberculosis? It is used in the management of the multi-drug resistant. The common adverse effect, again the GIT symptoms, nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain. And how you prevent? By giving the drug in dividing doses. Another important drug is the ethionamide. Structurally, it is similar to the isoniazid but less efficacious. It inhibits the synthesis of the mycolic acid. And it is a bacteriostatic drug. It is well absorbed after oral administration, distributed wide all over the body, including the CSF. And the side effect is the hepatitis, headache, blur vision, and paresthesia. Another drug is the cycloserine. It has a bacteriostatic activity. It inhibits the bacterial cell wall synthesis inhibitor, distributed all over the body, including the CSF. The common side effect is the CNS, headache, GIT symptoms, and tremor and convulsion. So should be given with caution with the patient who have a epilepsy. Another is the fluoroquinolones. What are the drugs used? Ciprofloxacin, ofloxacin, moxifloxacin, and levofloxacin, bactericidal agent given orally. They are the inhibitor of the nucleic acid synthesis. It means they inhibit or they block. What is the mechanism? They block the DNA synthesis by inhibiting the bacterial DNA gyrase enzyme that are involved in the DNA replication. They are rapidly bactericidal. And what are the uses? They are mainly used to treat the tuberculosis. It is also used to UTI infection, bacteria, gastroenteritis, soft tissue, joint treatment, bone joint treatment, gonorrhea, and it is also used for prophylaxis of the meningitis. And the important side effect is the nephrotoxicity, crystalluria, and tendinitis. It also damages the growing cartilage, and patient they develop the arthropathy. Therefore, it is contraindication under the age of 18 years and the pregnant women because they are secreted in the milk. Another drug is the rifabutin. It is the derivative of the rifampicin. It is preferred patient who have a HIV infected patient, and that is on the protease inhibitor because they have less potent enzyme inducers. Because the rifampicin is a more potent enzyme, they're less. That's why it is used in the patient who have a HIV. It is also used for the rifabutin is also used for the Mycobacterium avium complex infection in combination with clarithromycin and ethambutol. And the rifapentine, this is also the analog or similar structure with the rifampicin, but it is a potent enzyme inducer. It means rifampicin and rifapentine is a potent enzyme inducer, while the rifabutin is a less potent enzyme inducers. And the how you treat, there are two chemoprophylactic, there are two line of treatment, complicated and uncomplicated. The uncomplicated, we give the 6 month, 4 drug given for the first 2 months, and the 2 drug is given for last 4 months. And the uncomplicated 18 to 24 month, the drug is given. Another is the WHO guideline for the treatment tuberculosis DOT programs. Directly observe treatment short course. This is implemented in 1997, was launched this program. And thrice weekly is given the DOT therapy. In DOT, patient is administered drug under the supervision of the health worker, and especially those who have taken the drug properly. So we give non-compromised patients. It means the compliant, the patient who have a compliant, the given DOT therapy, directly observe treatment short courses. Okay, but it is given under the supervision of health worker or trained person to ensure the drug are actually consumed or not. And the therapy should be supervised or monitored by bacteriological examinations. It means DOTS is the backbones of the WHO to treat the tuberculosis. Another term is used, multi-drug resistant, MDR. It means it is resistant to the both isoniazid rifampin, with or without resistant to the other drug. Another term is used, XDR. It means extensive drug resistant tuberculosis. Extensive drug resistance tuberculosis is defined as a resistant to isoniazid, rifampin, fluoroquinolone, that is the ofloxacin, levofloxacin, moxifloxacin, and one of the second line therapy, that is caprimycin and kanamycin, amikacin. But in that case, there is a mortality rate is high. Extensive, it means the tuberculosis resistant to all the drug. And the treatment of tuberculosis, HIV positive, in that we give rifabutin over the rifampicin. And the tuberculosis pregnancy at first line therapy, you can give safely isoniazid, rifampin, pyrazine, ethambutol, except streptomycin cannot be used. Otherwise, the major management of the antituberculous drug induce adverse reactions. We manage it. And again, GIT symptom, how you can manage? By giving the drug in small meals. And if the patient have developed the peripheral need, you give the pyridoxines. Joint pain, so you give the non-steroid anti-inflammatory drug. And the flu-like symptom, So you change the drug. Yeah, daily administration of the drug. Jaundice, hepatitis, adverse effect are appear. Should be stopped till the reaction is subside. After subsiding, you reintroduce the drug. And the patient may have developed skin rashes, so you stop the anti-tuberculosis drug. And restarted at a time in low doses. If the patient have developed the visual disturbances, the ethambutol is discontinued. And what are the chemoprophylaxis of the tuberculosis? It is prophylactic use of the anti-tuberculosis to prevent the development of active tuberculosis in patients who have at risk, especially the children, diabetic, old. So we give the prophylactic. And what are the indication or what are the clinical uses of the chemoprophylaxis given the newborn of the mother who have active tuberculosis, young children who have a positive tuberculin test, and the household contact of patient with tuberculosis. So you give the anti-tuberculosis prophylactically. The patient who have a positive tuberculin test with the additional risk factor, I have told you the diabetes, malignancy, AIDS. Okay, this is all about the tuberculosis. It is a very important topic regarding Viva Voce interactive station. Can come, always come. The anti-tuberculosis drug or scenario CBL on the TB. So an important drug. You should know the name of the drug. You should know the side effects of the drug. You should know the mechanism of action of the drug. But the important topic is important and interesting topics. So you should know all the mechanism. Side effect is very important. Drug interaction is very important. Asked in the examination, examiner, Viva. These are all are the important questions regarding Viva Voce.
Ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Can we end it now?